The following production is part of the Play Some Video Games podcast network.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of Play Some Video Games, the flagship show of the PSVG podcast network and a proud member of the Make Us Better community over on Patreon. It is I, your host, Kevin, and joining me this week, hey, the boss man Don is here. How you doing, man?
Greetings, Kooplings. Doing well, buddy. Glad to be back on the Prime show, PSVG Prime.
I know it's been like a whole, 12 hours? Well, no, 24 hours since we talked. So
that's where the magic happens.
On the Prime show?
That's it.
Sure, we'll go with that. Also, joining us this time is a very special guest, a true friend of PSVG. He's been championing us for, longer than we've been championing ourselves, I'm pretty sure. The one, the only, Mr. Delvin Cox. My man, how you doing, and how has it taken 155 episodes for this to happen?
I don't know, but I'm happy I'm finally on PSVG, baby.
And we are so happy to finally make this work out and get all of us together on the same show. That's not your show. And let you talk about video games, which you kind of get to do sometimes, but not really. So tonight you're going to talk pretty much all video games. So, but if by some strange reason the listeners aren't familiar with you or the Delvin Cox Experience, give them the elevator pitch real quick about why they should know you, why they should listen to your show.
The Delvin Cox Experience is a podcast in which each week, every Thursdays around 9 a.m., I have conversations with people, and these conversations are basically getting to know a person and getting their experiences, their life experiences, things like that, and helping us grow to know each other better and understand the human condition.
Perfect. Sounds good. So one thing, though, he did forget to mention is the one thing every single guest of his show dreads is his trademark 5 for 5. He asks us some crazy questions. We don't get a heads up, and we have to answer them like right on the spot off the tops of our head. It's tough, man. But you get people talking, and it's a good thing. You get people's life stories and experiences to come out of them. Like, there's no prep ahead of time. You don't really discuss with us, hey, I want to bring you onto the show to talk X, Y, and Z. You let it happen. And that's a gift, man. So it's really good. But yeah, the 5 for 5 is tormenting everybody. But but I mean, it's time to start the show off proper, as we do each and every week. Not really, but we're going to do it tonight with the 5 for 5. Delvin, 5 questions, 5 answers. Are you ready tonight?
Man, I'm ready.
Okay. Question number 1. Favorite video game console of all time and why?
Super Nintendo.
Why?
See, I was going to go NES, but I don't want to. No, it's just so many classic games I remember and love from the Super Nintendo. That is, like I remember playing Street Fighter 2 and Super Mario World, and those kind of almost arcade ports that just made it so much fun.
Okay, fair enough. So question number 2, the best game you've played all year so far?
That's a hard one. I'm going to either go, no, I'm going to pick one straight up. I'm not going to say either or. I'm going God of War.
Okay. That's
God of War's excellent, and I sat there and played it with my son, and we had a great experience because he was sitting there saying the same things that the trailers were saying.
Boy.
That's literally what was happening.
Awesome. See, it's a great game and a great experience for you. So it works out. So here's a twist on one of yours.
Okay.
Your least favorite superhero and why?
My least favorite superhero.
There's got to be one that drives you nuts, because there's one that drives me nuts. So like, there's got to be one that you just hate every time they come.
I'm trying to think of one that's just atrocious. Because there's a lot of superheroes that are I just like, this superhero is just dumb. Like, the first one that comes to mind is like Plastic Man. Sure. Like, I'm like, what use is he like? And then it's like Plastic Man is horrible because they make up excuses to make him powerful. And you're like, come on. This doesn't really work, man. It's Plastic Man. Stop trying to make him cool.
You're like, that scenario would never ever come up in real life. So
Yes.
all right, fair enough. Question 4. McDonald's, Wendy's, and Burger King. Only one survives. Which one you keeping and why?
Burger King. I
Why?
love the Whopper.
Okay.
F the Big Mac. If you know that song, you got that reference.
Yep. Nope, that works. That works. All right, so here's the toughest one.
Okay.
Also a play on one of yours. Zombie apocalypse. It's not about what you're taking with you. It's who you fighting with, side by side, me or Donnie, and why.
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question.
Your answer may or may not, have ramifications for further invites to the show.
Or the show could end right now, depending on how you answer.
I'm trying to think. That's a good one. I don't know. I'm trying to think, what weapons would you guys carry? Because my first thing comes to mind is Donnie will probably be carrying some Nintendo stuff.
He's got the light gun.
The light gun, or like he's Captain N or something like that.
Wow. I was going to say they were going to get these hands, but, to each their own.
But see,
That's mistake number 1. You don't go hand to hand. You're going to get bit.
You don't go hand to hand.
That answer right there.
That's what a person says that can't do it.
I'm pretty sure I got like 6 inches on you, so this wingspan is probably a lot bigger. So I'm safer than you are in a hand-to-hand thing.
We'll see.
With the zombie, at least. All right, so you just made us fight, Delvin. That backfired on us, man. All right.
You know what? I just came with my answer. It's going to be Donnie.
Okay.
Because if Donnie's crazy enough to go fight hand-to-hand with them, that at least gives me time to run.
I was like, human shield. Oh, okay. So that's the end of the 5 for 5. We stole it from you. All right, let's get on to the real way we start each and every week, and that's talking about what you playing, brought to you by Flux Deposed. Delvin, you're the guest, sir. Let's hear about what you've been playing recently.
Well, 2 games. One you've probably heard of. One you've also probably heard of, but not for the same reason.
Okay.
The first game I'm playing that everybody's heard of and everybody's going crazy over is Red Dead 2.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Excellent game. The second game I'm playing just came out the other day, and it's called The Quiet Man. Have you heard of this game?
I have not.
Google it. It is getting thrashed in reviews right now because it was this game that I think Square.
I didn't even know that came out.
Yeah, it came out yesterday.
The trailer for it.
And it's like $10, and I was excited. I just bought it, and it's weird. It's really weird.
Man, I remember they showed this trailer at E3, didn't they? And then, I've heard. I didn't think it was coming out anytime soon. Wow. Okay.
It's $10, and there's a reason for that. I don't know how to describe it because it's like a mix between live action and gameplay, and it tries to blend it together, but it's not like Quantum Break good. It's like cheesy. It's just baffling how the frame rate drops and stuff like that, and it's weird. It is a weird game.
That might be more than enough to get me to check it out. But yeah, it's currently sitting at a 5 out of 10 on Steam. 52% of users have liked it. Google users have liked it, so less than like half the people. But yeah, it's described as The Quiet Man as an action-adventure video game title for PS4 and Windows, currently developed by Square Enix and Human Head Studios. The game was being marketed by Square Enix as being playable in one sitting.
That sounds about right.
Okay. I think I'm going to have to check it out. But yeah, I remember this. Now that you told me to look it up, the second I saw the screenshot that came, I'm like, I do remember that. I actually thought this was interesting. But I had no idea it was coming out even this year, let alone now. 2 months after E3. Wow, okay. All right, fair enough. So I'm going to save the Red Dead talk for last on my list. I'll go next because Donnie has some thoughts on Red Dead 2. I do as well. We'll let you speak a little bit more about it too, Delvin. I want to get your thoughts here. We're not going to go too deep because we're announcing now that not the next episode of PSVG, but the one following after that will be a Red Dead roundtable discussion featuring myself, our official chef of Play Some Video Games, Mr. Justin Warner from Food Network, will be returning to discuss as well.
Also himself.
What was that?
Also himself.
Awesome. Yes, that's true. Justin Warner will be himself and not me. nor will I be Justin Warner. We know that joke is being played to death.
He's just gonna 2 webcams, Delvin. I've seen him how he does this. It's like mirrors. There's like it's all digital.
Like
Hair's cut now. I can't do it. And I don't know if Donnie said he was going to step out of it, but I'd still like to get him on there and then get one other person from PSVG on to kind of break it all down. But we'll save the deep dive for then. But before we get to that, so games I have been playing at the urging of Donnie, even though he claimed nobody was going to believe him because not many other people were in that same situation as he is, life situation, to enjoy Super Mario Party in the house with enough people to play it. I bit. Reviews coming out saying like, hey, if you don't care about the online, it's really good. Donnie said the same thing. He's like, it's really good. It is really good. I'm going to back that up 100%. This is the best Mario Party game I can remember since probably the GameCube days. Well, actually, definitely since the GameCube days. It might be the best one ever, period. It's a ton of fun. There's not as many boards. I'd like for more boards. That's kind of the only thing I'm down on it. I wish there's more. Who knows? It could be DLC coming. But the game is really fun. It's super accessible from anybody to be able to pick up and play. And as a matter of fact, my family and I have enjoyed it so much. Donnie, we have 100%ed every single thing in that game. So we did the challenge road, everything. Yep.
We're not even, we don't even really play it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was always the thing. Even like back with Yoshi, it's just not like how we typically play the game. Especially when it's just me and Jack. When it's Jack and I, we just hop into like a mini game.
Yeah.
Or we play that baseball game. The baseball game's hot.
The baseball game is fun. I did play that a couple times. Yep.
Amazing. But no, it's really happy. I'm happy to hear that because and it's also happy to hear that they had their earnings call last week and it's selling well. It's over 1 million already,
which is great.
That's great for Mario Party because
absolutely
it's been on the ropes for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they do give us some more support now. Now that they've got people showing some interest.
And you got to imagine it's got to sell good for the holiday season as well. That's a great Christmas gift for anybody. And Donnie said it's tough for people that don't have somebody else to play with. I have my built-in family. Donnie has his built-in family to play. I would say even if it's just like you and your wife or you and your girl or you and your guy for that matter, it's good enough for that. 2 players can definitely still have a ton of fun. As my wife and I played numerous times where it was just the 2 of us playing. There's team modes. You can team up together versus the computer. So it's like 2 versus 2, but you each move around the board separately. There's all different modes and dynamics that they've never done in Mario Party before that keep this fresh and interesting and going through. So if you were on the fence about this game, basically I'm going to echo what Donnie says. As long as you do not care about the online, because the online is garbage for it, pick this game up. Don't even think twice about it. It's great. Don't sleep on it. Next game I've had in my library for a while, but I've never given it a shot until I didn't even think to give it a shot until Caroline played through it recently. We talked about it a little bit, and that's Oxenfree. Hasn't hooked me yet. It might, but as of right now, I'm not really digging it too much. But I am very early. I'm probably about an hour in.
Oh, okay, yeah, it wouldn't start yet.
Right.
Yeah, I love that game.
So yeah, everybody seems to like it. So I'm expecting something to happen where it just kind of clicks and gets way better. But I did want to mention that I am playing that as well. Diablo 3 came out. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Don't give up on it until it starts glitching.
Okay. I'll stick through it. It's relatively short anyway. Is it like 8 hours or 5 hours, something like that anyway? So
you're doing like 5 or 6 hours.
Yeah, like 5 hours.
Yeah, I'll play through it. That's no problem. Diablo 3 came out. I had that pre-purchase, so it was downloaded in my Switch when I got up this morning. I was able to play it for a little bit, played a couple times, took little unauthorized work breaks to squeeze in 20 minutes here or there of Diablo 3. It's great. I did have it on PS3 at one point. I traded it in like a long time ago just because nobody else was playing it, so I didn't really have anybody talked about it, but now it's like fresh in everyone's mind and people are jumping on this bandwagon. It runs great on Switch. There is no lag. There's no nothing. And I mean, this game was built to be portable. This is a great game to pick up, crawl through a couple dungeons, put it in sleep mode. You don't have to really worry about the save points and just pick it up and play and go. It's great, easily digestible. Have not played online yet. Jason did. He's mentioned in the Discord today. He's had 0 hiccups with the online as well. And that was from his work Wi-Fi. So not even his better home Wi-Fi scenario. So it seems very promising that this is going to be good. I hope to link up with him soon so we can talk about it on Shaq, hopefully next week, actually. And you'll hear more thoughts on that. But yeah, it's just day one playing it. Absolutely love it. Great. Very exciting. So Red Dead Redemption 2, let's get to that. And we'll have Donnie talk about it as well and Delvin give us your thoughts. I think Donnie has some hot takes on it, according to what everybody else has. But here's the thing that I don't know if Donnie is expecting is I probably have the same hot takes as he does.
Wow.
So
I want to hear y'all hot takes because I have an interesting view of it.
All right, so for me, right off the bat, beautiful game. I'm not gonna downplay that all. It looks great. And I'm playing on an S. I'm not even playing on an X because I'm poor. I don't have a Xbox One X, but it looks great even on that. Give it that. The voice acting is good. I'm enjoying that. The story seems to be interesting enough to have me hooked. But I will say, for an opening scene, it was one of the most lackluster intros to an action game I think I've ever experienced. Like and I've heard other people talk about this. Well, I think actually they did on Board with VG. They kind of mentioned this too. Is you mentioned this great event that happens, this exciting event where stuff goes nuts and there's chaos and they had to run away from it. You don't start the game off with that, and then like flash forward to like 2 months later or whatever, and then jump into that snow scene where you're in the snow forever doing basically nothing. The game for me, and I mentioned this in the Discord, like day one, the controls are I don't like them. The tank movement, it feels like old Resident Evil. That seems really weird to me. And I don't know why my horse is still with me, because I've punched him in the head so many times while trying to climb up and ride him that it makes no sense. And the pacing on the game seems to be way off. So I understand it's slow pace. It's the Wild West. You're going to ride your horse for a long time to get somewhere. I get that. That's historically accurate. Okay. But I can play for like an hour-long session, and after I'm done, I'm like, oh, I had fun doing that. But then I think back, I'm like, I accomplished zero. Like, you don't seem to be able to do anything remotely quick in this game at all. So even the missions, like, it seems weird. And I know we're not supposed to compare it to Grand Theft Auto, but let's be honest, everybody's comparing it to Grand Theft Auto. I think the way it's sold already through the roof, the insane launch it had, is because of Grand Theft Auto, not because people were so excited to play Red Dead again. It's they were hoping like Grand Theft Auto was a home run, then this game is also going to be a home run, and it's going to be just as awesome. And I don't think it's there. It's still a great game. I'm still enjoying it. I'm just not sure why, because it seems like I'm not getting anything done, not moving that needle. And that for me is the big problem. So I know kind of Donnie's moved on from it, I think. Is it because of the same reason? Like the pacing just seems really, really off for me.
I wouldn't share the same pacing concerns. I think it ebbs and flows. They're definitely at the end of chapters. You get the really fun mission, something you should have started with, something that GTA 5 started with, something that most GTAs and most Rockstar games start with is a big grand opening. And this one is kind of a lull. Yeah. So I want to preface a few things. It was made, I was made aware in our Discord when I started sharing some thoughts, mostly by Seth, who continues to bring up my Uncharted 4 heel persona in my review with Kyle 3 years later. Right? How sometimes I can come off as, I guess, a negative Nancy and a bit very like cynical and critical. And that's true. I typically would agree with that. I think I do that quite a bit. I responded with them in our first discussion, really just kind of saying, I really like the game, but the more I played it after that, I'm even starting to come off of the I really like the game part.
Oh, okay.
Devin started to come down. Devin was like, is it fun? And when he asked me, I was like, there are moments where I have fun. Okay, it's fun. And then I went back and played it. I played it 3 times since kind of that day in our Discord. And now I'm starting to feel like I'm not having fun. That's really kind of where I am. I'm like, all right, now I'm just tired. My biggest issue with this game is that I don't think it respects the player's time at all. And it's very interesting because I always consume like the review circuit. I think maybe more than anybody on our team. Like, I'm definitely that person. I have heard so many, it's deliberately slow. They want you to do this, right? And I'm calling BS. It feels like a cop-out. Because what I keep kind of coming back to is if any other game did some of the things that they're doing in this game, I feel like they would have been raked over the coals for it. How about you let Spider-Man go be deliberately slow or have control issues or, or just have like, a bunch of where you just have to swing for 25 minutes to get to the next marker. How about you let Far Cry do that? How about God of War? How about you walk through that entire mountain without doing anything at all until you get to the next mission? And then let's see people review that game and talk about how great it was because it was deliberately slow and it was against the grain and it was, that part of it from the reviews that part of it is really something that I've come back to, and I'm kind of like, heelish on. Like I'm sitting there, I'm just like, wait a minute, why does everybody keep saying this? Because, and I don't want to get into like the score chasing part of it, but it was, it's to be mentioned, the game is getting near perfect review scores.
Yeah, it's not that for me at all.
And for somebody like me who consumes all that, I mean, I will admit to, like, when I go into a game like that, I have expectations, and I think my eyes just focus in a little bit more. And I don't want to like redact everything or reduce everything that I say specifically to a score. But really, when I'm playing it, the experience that I'm having is, how could this be? How I'm not even in the ballpark.
Right.
So that's like the weird thing. I'm like, I don't even understand. There's nothing amazing about Red Dead Redemption 2 outside of the visuals, and I would argue the voice acting. I think the voiceover is incredible. It's one of the best voiced over video games I think I've ever heard. And that's something interesting for me to say, because we've talked about this in the past, Kevin. That's not something I ever really bring up at all, because I think voice acting is so personal. Like there are games with good voice acting, this game with bad voice. I've liked both sides. Like it's not something that I constantly think is a thing. But in this game, it's almost cinematic. It's almost movie.
Yes, totally.
It's kind of like they made a video game the movie.
Yeah.
And I just don't necessarily know if that makes for the best video game. One of the other things from the review cycle that I've been hearing debated about on podcasts, and I'm sure a lot of our listeners too, is there's like this question, especially with the Kotaku kids, with Jason, is this game fun, and does a video game have to be fun? And they're like kind of arguing like, well, if you're going to respect the medium, then we can't always say games have to be fun. And that's an interesting one for me, because I play video games for fun. If what I'm doing isn't fun, then I'm not interested. And it's like, that's kind of how I play every single game, like if I'm not having fun in the moment to moment gameplay, then it's just, I'm not into it. And so with all that aside, this one's a really interesting one. You talk about the long horse rides, like the lack of the fast travel, but really with me, the long horse rides between missions, and boy, are they. There was a time when I was playing it on Sunday that I legit ordered food on my laptop while on the horse. I just held down the button with one hand, and I was on my Chromebook with the other, typing away with one hand, ordering food, and placed like an entire order and everything, and was still just riding. Nothing happened, nothing popped up. And it's weird because with the way that the game is presented to you, it's an open world game. To be able to do that and not encounter something makes you wonder why it's an open world game.
I argue, and I've seen that in a lot of reviews too that I've read afterwards. So I went into this completely with, I got caught up a little bit in the hype. Like people were excited for this game, and I was excited to give this a shot because I wasn't a fan of the first one that much. I gave up on it pretty early, I think. But I didn't take any of that going into this one. I watched the first trailer, I think, for it, and then I didn't watch anything else. So like I didn't get into that hype where everyone else was like, went in with super high expectations. I went in with nothing. So I went with a clean slate saying I'm going to give this game a shot. I would argue against that this is an open world game because they very deliberately drive you to a certain point always.
And I think some of what I've heard is that it's like up to the player. That there's pieces that I've heard people say that I like this game because they don't tell me where things are, so I go and find them. And for me, I just haven't found any.
I argue that they are there. Maybe there's nothing there.
I know I found like a treasure map, and I found like some treasure. Some of the things that I heard in reviews that I was like expecting were like they talk about these grand like NPC encounters where you encounter them along the road, and then like all of a sudden they pop up back later. And I've encountered a few of those, but they're not memorable. They're not big. Something I've never seen before. Like it's all very like Ocarina of Time trade sequencey stuff. If you save the person in town like hooks you up with a gun or picks up your tab, or like I haven't seen anything like complex or unraveling, something that I was like, oh wow, nothing surprises me. I'm not like shocked. It's very much a Rockstar game. It feels like a Rockstar game. It just you mentioned the controls. I have so many issues with the control.
I can't stand it. That's my biggest gripe.
The movement is insanely slow, like molasses slow. Even when you run, it feels like it's slow. I know you're going to agree with this. There have been so many times where I've tried to enter an action and nothing happens.
Yep.
And it's driving me nuts. My wife noticed it the other day because I let her design my horse. I got the horse and I made her do all that. I thought she'd enjoy that. So I went to go get on my horse and it was like, press whatever to mount.
Yep.
And nothing happened. And he
Yep.
sat there. And she's like, what's going on? And then he knelt down and opened a campfire. And I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. So I had to, and like there was another time where I had to steal this tank. I had to steal a tank, and we'll just leave it at that, like this horse-drawn carriage tank. And I was driving it, and you have to park it in the woods. So I go to turn, and I guess I scraped like a tree, and I completely just got stuck. And I tried to reverse and couldn't move, and I tried to turn every other way and couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. And I was like, I'm going to have to restart this entire mission where I just drove this carriage around for 15 minutes. You know what I did? I got out and shot the horse. And he totally started moving. He backed up. Once I got off of it, I shot the horse and he started moving. Then I had to go recapture it and bring it back. But it's just like things like that are really, I don't want to say breaking the experience because that's not really right. But it's just, it reminds you that it's like, it just feels like old Rockstar. You know, it's just like things like that. And I mean, for a game, I guess for a game that looks and sounds so beautiful. And I really can't underestimate or underappreciate how good the video game on Xbox One X. It's stunning. I mean, I remember I was telling everybody like Spider-Man for an open world, like most open worlds, this open world game is amazing. It's just there are these light rays and like especially at night, like the moonlight, like the lighting system of this game is next level. I mean, that is I've never seen anything on par with it. It's not even close. It's out of this world good. So on that, like it's really good to watch it. But you know, like between that and these open world missions that you just drive back and forth to, there's not a whole lot to do in the world. I made the joke in Nathan's Extra Life stream today that the game very much feels like Rockstar presents Cabela's Big Game Redemption.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a hunting game. Like you just fish and hunt and ride your horse around and shoot some stuff. You know, like I haven't found anything to like climb. There's not like a whole lot of secrets to like uncover.
No.
You know, like it's this beautiful open world that I feel like I can't do much with.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of things I can do in it. You know, where like GTA, you're hopping off of buildings and flying through the sky and hijacking helicopters. Even a Far Cry, you're taking down towers.
All stuff to do. Yep.
Fire. There's mechanics. There are elements to the world. You know, like physical elements. You can light stuff on fire. There's like a strategy. I haven't found a whole lot of that.
No.
At all.
So I was going to say, Delvin, you've been quiet. Tell us why we're wrong then, because you were defending the game earlier.
No, I'm glad you guys feel this way about the game because I feel the exact opposite.
Good.
I love the game. And it's not because of I'm saying the things you guys are saying are wrong. It's because I like the quiet in the game. I like walking around in this kind of barren area where it's just you and nature. It kind of gives me the feel. If we were to say Grand Theft Auto was like Pulp Fiction, this is more like Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair.
In terms of like, it's a very slow paced story. And you're going to sit there for a while. But I feel like once you get to that point, you're going to be satisfied. And to add on to that, I do agree that this is going to be a very polarizing game. Point blank. I think that when people look back at this game, it's going to be kind of how people look back at Uncharted 3 where they say, oh, that really wasn't a 10. They're going to kind of say the same things about this game because it's not an action-packed game.
And there are some moments that are really incredible. You hijack a train, you know, you get that experience. You're like, man, this is awesome. Delvin, how far along are you in the story?
I'm not that far in the story because I just got to doing a lot of just walking around and exploring the land and like finding cool stuff. There, believe it or not, there's cool stuff there. Yeah, you have to look for it. Or sometimes it comes up onto you when you're not even expecting it. Like,
sure.
It's one thing to happen. I don't want to spoil anything in the game.
Right.
But there's certain things that happen. If you just walk up on certain areas, you'll find something that's pretty cool.
You know, and those encounters that just develop, I wonder if I'm playing the game wrong. You know, because before going into the game, like with their little tutorial videos that they put out, you know, they mentioned how you can play this game like good or evil. And I told everybody in our Discord, I wanted to play the game evil. It's been a while since I've done that. Like I did it in Infamous and I do it in Fable. And typically when a game lets me do that, especially like with Arthur Morgan's character, This dude is just like it's weird. The whole theme of the game is like how civilization is, stomping out his outlaw way of life. And it's interesting because they treat it as almost like it's an occupation, like almost like they're being wronged by not being allowed to be criminals, which is neat. But because of that and the way he is, I was like, this is the way I should play. If he's upset that the world's trying to change him, then I'm going to be an outlaw. I'm going to be the villain. I'm going to be the heel. And I don't know if it's because I'm killing all the encounters or I'm doing everybody wrong. But I mean, like, I come up across these encounters and I'm just like, either no, or I just shoot them. One of the things I really don't like is that you can't like hit people. I'm not sure if any of you, like, I tried to do that. It really started to bother me because I want to be a bad person. So I see my little scale come up, but I don't want to kill I don't want to be like a serial killer. But, if I'm walking through town and somebody says some off-word remark, it'd be great to smack them. Just be like, hey, watch your mouth. I'm Arthur Morgan. You can't do that. You hit that trigger, you totally pull out a gun and just shoot everybody. I can't tell you the amount of times I've accidentally shot my horse or just like started shooting something because you have to enter like the fight animation that the game puts you in to do anything other than shoot people. And it's weird because like if you open up your weapon wheel, you have a fist, but that basically just disarms you. So like even if that was a thing, I was like, I'm gonna get my fist and then I'm gonna punch him. And no, you just pull out a gun and
You
shoot.
just stand there, yeah.
And then you get a bounty and then you got a warranty and you got to do it all over again. And it's kind of, it's making it hard to play my way. But outside of that, they mentioned like this whole system of, if you play bad, like people are going to treat you wrong and people are going to do this. And I haven't run into any of that. I walk into stores and they're like, hey, partner, like, can we get you a gun? And like, I'm the baddest dude in the West, man. I've killed like 500 people.
For me playing it feels, because I'm playing it good, it feels like the story is catered to being a good guy.
Yeah, it does. It does, because I'm doing the same. Yep.
There are definitely moments that bother me in camp where he sits down with people and explains how he feels. And you're absolutely right. When those moments happen, it feels like he's like, I feel bad for being bad. And I'm like, no, you don't. I'm playing bad. Like, that's what we're doing.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, because there's like, when you do good deeds towards people, he kind of explains them off.
Yeah.
And then they're like, no. You're a good guy, Arthur Morgan. They're like, no. I'm not a good guy. I just did you this one favor. Don't get carried away with it.
Right. Or I did it for the camp. I did it because I needed the money. Like, that's all he said. Yeah.
Yeah, and it feels like it's leading you to something. And I guess because you're playing it bad, you don't get that same experience with it.
I definitely think that's a very good point of, for anybody out there playing, if you just hate my opinion on it. And by all means, I thought about this before we came into the podcast. We've known for a few days. If Josh, Seth, anybody wants to respond to me on their own pod, like, this is great. Quote me here. Because like I've put thought into these comments quite a bit. I'm into chapter 4. I think I've played half of this game. This isn't Assassin's Creed. I didn't play this for 4 hours and put it down. I've put time into this game. Played it all weekend. I've played it several days, and like I'm feeling pretty solid on at least my footing here.
If they don't have you by chapter 4, then I don't think they're gonna get you. So
that's the thing. But one of the things I wrote down here, to be fair, Spider-Man wasn't my game of the year until the last act.
Sure.
Maybe there's something.
Really?
Maybe there's something here.
But you still didn't have a problem playing it throughout the process.
I love playing. You're right. You're
so
right.
That's different. Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna put it down. I don't even think so. I already have. I started playing Assassin's Creed tonight. I'm going to play something else until I hear from Kyle or Josh or Nathan or somebody that gets to the end where they say, hey, there are some things you probably should see. And once I start hearing that, maybe I'll come back. But from what I've seen and what I've gathered, it's not that it's bad. I'm not trying to be negative Nancy. There are moments that I do love. I love the characters. I love the camp, and I love building the camp. Yeah. Those are my favorite. I love putting money in the box. I've already unlocked all the stuff. I actually have bought all the guns, even though I haven't unlocked them all. Like through the companion app. Like, so money, that's another thing. I'm playing as a bad dude. Money hasn't been a problem. I am flush with cash. I can do whatever I want.
And that's weird because they're constantly complaining about money.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. They always complain. Even if you've given them all the money, they still complain that they have no monny. That's a story narrative.
Up to chapter 4, I have every camp upgrade unlocked. I have every gun. I've bought 7 or 8 guns that are locked. I haven't even played with yet, and I still have money. And I'm throwing like money in the box and like all that stuff. So, But I mean, I like that. There are moments. There's a drunk mission where you keep the guy in the bar.
Yep.
That was a blast. That
was fun.
That was the fun Rockstar. I want more of that.
Yes.
There was a part. I guess it's narrative based. There was a part where you come home to camp. And there's a great party, and there's campfire songs, and everybody's drinking, and it's having a good time. And you can really sit down and talk and listen to everybody. And that's like some next level stuff you don't see a whole lot in games.
Yes.
So I'll give them that. It's not that the game is bad by any means. I'm not saying that. The game is definitely good. It looks good. But the other issues are really kind of keeping me away from it. And that is, the slowness to the character, the animations. That's the thing like with Assassin's Creed already. Like you loot a person, there's no animation. It's just a button press.
Yeah.
Like with this, everything has an animation.
Yep.
With the storing the guns, the getting out your guns, and it just really slows down everything. Everything is slowed down. It's like, Kevin, you tell me how you feel about this. It's like closer to a Fallout game than like a GTA. Like it feels.
Oh, definitely.
I'm like walking around and picking up the apple and putting down, just like, man, like let's get going.
Yeah.
Or just taking your guns off the horse.
Oh,
that's annoying as heck to me. It's like you started mentioning like, oh wait, my bow and arrow's on the horse. Even if you that's one thing. We really have to move on from Red Dead. We're taking way too long here. But the one thing I want to point out, the most annoying thing that's happened to me so far is like the other day I was going to play. And I was like, all right, let me try hunting because they're talking about, hey, somebody needs to bring back food. I'm going to give this a shot. So I start off in my camp. I just start walking out into the woods because I'm like, I don't need to take my horse. There were like wild turkey right outside the camp. So I start walking. I don't have my bow and arrow. Okay, let me walk back to my horse, get my bow and arrow. Oh, you can't while the horse is in camp. You have to ride the horse, leave the camp, leave your horse in the woods, get your bow and arrow, and then go. I'm like, why? Why can't I just take my bow and arrow with me and go? Like, this makes no sense. But
yeah, there's definitely some stuff like that. And the only reason that I said that I would bow out of the conversation is I definitely feel like there were some people that think that maybe I suck the air out of the room too much. And I'll just give some other people, the opinion to weigh in. Like, these are kind of my thoughts. I'm not as high on the game as I expect many other people to be. I'm not trying to be cool in that. I really, me, I've had this game pre-ordered for 8 months. Oh, yeah. I really want to come here and tell you how much I'm loving playing because I love GTA and I really love Rockstar. And
we were talking, 2 months ago that we're like, hey, what are we going to do when Battlefield comes out, when this comes out, when that comes out? Because we're going to be so in Red Dead, and it's both of us are like I'm going to still keep playing it. I'm enjoying it enough to play it. But you're right. If something really comes and hooks in me in the meantime, I'm dropping it. Like
so with that, just to give you a little segue to get out of here, I feel like I'm going to have to eat crow, or at least I'm going to try to eat crow on my Assassin's Creed remarks.
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed Odyssey remarks. So I played it on Project Stream. I played it for 3 or 4 hours. I got through the second naval battle, and I gave up on it because the missions up to that point weren't doing anything. Like there was no story. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was literally just going from point A to point B, like killing people. But and the naval battle stuff really got me off. Mm-hmm. But playing Red Dead really made me want to go back to Assassin's Creed because it's so much faster. I was like, man,
wow.
I didn't know what I had when I had it. So I started, and then and Sean streaming it, and I was in his stream, and I'm seeing GIFs of like Minotaurs and I want to see that stuff. So maybe I just didn't give it enough. Maybe this is a Xenoblade Chronicles 2 moment for me where I quit on something super early, and I probably quit on Assassin's Creed because I knew Red Dead was coming. Right?
Yeah, we had everything else going on. Yep.
Everything in all that in the back of my mind was this game isn't getting to you right now. Move on because you got the big thing coming down the line. Mm-hmm. Now that I've put 25 hours into the big thing, now I'm going, I should probably just go back to the other game. Bought it on Xbox. Kevin and we have it. I already started it. This time I'm going to play as the guy. I already forgot his name because I just started it.
I have.
Cassandra wasn't really doing it for me in my Project Stream playthrough. She's very like a brutish and mean and angry. He's a little more like suave, a little more like a little more comedian like.
He's Robin Hood. He's Robin Hoodish to me.
Kinda. So that's what I'm going to go back and I'm going to give it a real good try. I'm going to put some time into it this weekend and see if it does something for me. Maybe it doesn't, but I'm going to give it a better try.
Cool. Anything else you've been playing?
No.
Okay. Cool. Well, then it is time to do, as we always do, it's time to check out the news of the week.
This week in Play Some Video Game News.
First one up, another month, another Xbox games with gold announcement. So once again, there are 2 Xbox One games and 2 backwards compatible Xbox 360 games up for grabs for those who have an Xbox Live membership. Starting with games of gold, Microsoft is breaking out the big guns for this one, literally. Battlefield 1's base game is available from November 1st to November 30th. Battlefield 5 comes out November 20th, so this will give players almost the whole month, well, 20 days, to sink their teeth into Battlefield 1 if they did not play it like myself, to get used to or get hyped for Battlefield 5. So we'll see how that does there. The second game becomes available November 16th and runs through December 15th is Race the Sun. Not as excited for this one. Seth seems to think it's going to be, it seems to be a fun little thing, but it's basically an arcade racer that was a Flash game on PC originally. You fly at high speeds while avoiding obstacles. Sun sets, you die, so go as fast as you can to get to your goal before the sun goes down, basically. Hence the name, Race the Sun. As far as the Xbox 360 games with gold games, also fitting due to the Odyssey just came out. The very first Assassin's Creed, it was available to everybody starting November 1st through the 15th. And then Dante's Inferno, which I could have sworn was free before, but maybe it was on PS Plus. I could be wrong. Is available from November 16th through the 30th. I have played both the Xbox 360's backwards compatible games, so for me, it's probably not something I go back and revisit, but I am excited for Battlefield 1. Donnie, any of these gonna steal some of your time before we move on to the next game?
I remember Dante's Inferno being really good, or at least I remember enjoying it. I liked it a lot. I believe is it mature?
Oh yeah, there's some questionable material.
Okay, so I remember there's some stuff in there, so I assume it's mature.
Yeah.
Battlefield 1 IVA access. I've played it. I did all the campaigns. It's really good. If you don't, I like the solo stuff. It's the only reason I still have interest in anything that says Battlefield or Battlefront. So that was good. Race the Sun. No. I'm all for collecting as much backwards compatible stuff as they want to throw my way. So, yeah. Am I like jonesing to play Assassin's Creed? No, but you never know with that type of stuff. With the legacy stuff, like I just bought a PlayStation 2.
3.
And a PlayStation 3, I'm sorry, but it's fully backwards compatible. It's the fat OG piano, like ridiculous model that runs at like 4,000 degrees. I forgot how loud and hot this thing goes. There are just moments in time where you get that buzz. You get that bug. You want to do something retro. So throw all that backwards compatible stuff my way. I'll add it to the library. You never know what'll strike a fancy.
That's true. Delvin, any of these games you've played through or had any experience with?
Battlefield 1. Excellent game. I love the story mode of it because it's, for those who don't know, Battlefield 1 is like short stories from World War One.
Okay.
And it is so cool how they did the stories. Like my favorite one is it's one where they're like in a tank and they're trying to get away out of enemy lines. And it's such a cool story. It feels like almost like an HBO special.
Oh, like Band of Brothers, cool. Like I think, yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool. I played Race the Sun. Race the Sun is a little fun game. It's nothing like to write home about. It's just it's like it's you can see why it's free once you get it.
Sure. Okay. So also, of course, new month, new Game Pass games dropping as well. So for November, they've announced already Sniper Elite 4, which is available now, coming out the same day, yesterday, basically, the Ollie 2, which I played on the 3DS at this point. Sheltered and Rise and Shine. And lastly, Grip Combat Racing is coming on November 6th. But they did announce that there will be more titles announced at XO18 on November 10th, which is coming up about a week away from now. I think the only big, like, not even AAA game, but Sniper Elite 4 is pretty cool. Kyle reviewed that for the site, actually, before, and he enjoyed it. He liked it. So, that's a pretty cool game, but you got to imagine that the big heavy hitters is what's going to be announced at XO18. They're saving it, I think, and saying, like, hey, we're going to drop 1 or 2 complete bombshells here to get everybody talking and get people on that Game Pass. Maybe even throw a sale again now too, because it's gonna be in November. We're getting close to holiday season. You could start seeing them do the discount stuff and be like, hey, you can get 3 months for $10 or something like that. Do something like that and get people hyped into the Game Pass program there too. So I may try out Sniper Elite 4. I think that's probably the only one. Although Josh said don't sleep on Rise and Shine. Ironically enough, he said that was a fun little game too. So I'll check them out eventually. I'm sure the Game Pass is always great for when I don't have something big that's tugging at my heartstrings to go play. I'll hop in there and be like, oh, I'll give that a shot. That's how I discovered Dead Rising 3. I've been playing that. And it's just because I was like, let me see what's there. Oh, I want to play this. Let's go. Let's do it. So it's a fun, great service. Can't say enough about it. But Delvin, any of these you've played or are interested in playing?
I love Ollie Ollie too. I love that game. It's such a fun game. It reminds me of the old type games like Excite Bike and Skate or Die and stuff like that that I used to love when I was a kid. So I literally would just sit there and play Ollie Ollie all day.
I have a feeling Donnie likes Ollie Ollie as well.
We do. I've got it on every 3DS. We played it on Wii U. I believe I have it on Xbox and PlayStation. So, I mean, I'm all about Ollie Ollie. I already have it, so I'm not going to play it. I've already played it. But that grip combat racing is something I've seen pop on Switch stuff. It seems to be an interesting tactic that Xbox is doing. A lot of these like Switch releases are hitting Game Pass.
Yep.
So they're kind of like double dipping on the marketing. They're like, well, it's all these Nintendo folks who are liking this game. You can play it over here for, free or as a part of your subscription. That's pretty neat. I want to try that out. And then, I'll try Sniper Elite. That's a game I would never pay for.
No.
I don't know if it's something I would like, but having access to it, I'll definitely try it for sure.
Absolutely. So, of course, because there's games with gold, that also means PlayStation Plus announced their titles for November. Now, before we get into it, yes, it's the games that were leaked earlier this month. We didn't really know what was going to happen, if they were going to change, if that really was what's going to come out. Turns out the official press release does confirm that. So we're getting on PS4 Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition and Yakuza Kiwami. I will say, while people may be like, whatever, I like this lineup a lot. I've wanted to play a Yakuza game, and Kiwami is currently sitting on 80% on Metacritic right now, so it's nothing to sleep on. Even Bulletstorm, I played it back on PS3, but this is the remastered kind of touched-up edition, which is sitting at 75% on Metacritic right now, so it's also not something completely a waste of anybody's time. So pretty solid lineup. If you're still rocking the PS3, so Donnie, you can get Jackbox Party Pack 2. I can't imagine how well it's going to play on PS3 with the online service, that relies on that. And the Arcado series is available there too. And then PS Vita gets Burly Men at Sea. I don't know what that's about, but it's there. And Roundabout, which both those titles are available on PS4 as well, of course, because of cross-buy. So solid lineup. Like I said, I don't think I'd play anything else but the Bulletstorm and Yakuza. But when I do get some free time, I am 100% jumping into Yakuza. I really, really want to play one of those. I'm jonesing for another Sleeping Dogs like experience, which I think this is probably the closest thing, if not almost the same thing. So, Donnie, you excited for any of these? Well, actually, you don't have PS Plus anymore. But if you did, would you?
I don't have PlayStation Plus anymore, and I haven't for some time. But this is an attractive month. I'm with you. I really enjoy Yakuza games, so that's a really good get. Like that's a game you should play. But yeah, not having PlayStation Plus, I don't pay that much attention to them anymore.
That's fair. So, Delvin, I know you're paying attention. Are any of these ones you're going to jump on anytime soon?
Definitely the Yakuza games because they are excellent. I beat 6 earlier this year, and I loved I love the games. I don't think I played this version of that game yet. So I'm very excited to get into that one after I finish playing Red Dead for 1,000 hours or whatever it's going to take to beat it. But the Yakuza games are excellent, great stories, fun because there's so much stuff to do in those games. And it's unlike what you guys were saying about Red Dead. It's fun stuff to do in these games. It's like you go play baseball, you go on dates, and the story's so wacky, yet it's so fun. If you haven't played,
like karaoke too, don't they? Or
yes,
okay, I thought so.
So
great.
If you haven't played a Yakuza game, I highly recommend you play these games.
Fair enough. So I think everybody be jumping in on those. Well, moving on to the next story. Guys, it's November 2nd as we're recording that. So that clearly means we are in officially Christmas time because we don't acknowledge Thanksgiving or fall any much. It's pretty much Halloween hits and we're in Christmas mode. We got Christmas commercials on TV already. I may or may not have already started listening to some Christmas music, but that's just me. So with that being said, Black Friday ads have already been released a month ahead of time, which they're just getting earlier and earlier with these. I'm going to air quote these leaks that are not leaks because the actual company is just putting them out. So Target dropped some Black Friday deliciousness here, and I will say there's some stuff to pay attention to here. So let's jump right into it. Nintendo Switch, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Bundle, $300. So basically you're getting Mario Kart 8 for free, which is a great get. PlayStation 4, this is the big one. A lot of news are covering this specific one. 1 terabyte console, so it's not the Pro though, but you get Spider-Man as well for $200. That is,
and it's the Slim.
Yep. That is nuts. PlayStation 4, Xbox One wireless controllers will be $40. You knock $20 off that. So that's a great get because we know controllers are expensive as hell. And if you're buying a new console and you have more than one kid or you plan on playing with your kid, you automatically got to buy another one. So this is a good get there. A game that some of our Make Us Better community are playing, but I think a lot of us all said we're going to wait for a Black Friday sale. Well, here it is. Starlink Battle for Atlas, $40 with 30% off all of the Starship weapon and pilot packs, which is awesome. You're basically saving $35 off the box price there. So I think that's going to be a hot thing for sure.
Exactly the plan I've been waiting on. I'm waiting for Best Buy to either match it or do their own, but that's been the goal the whole time.
Yep, I think we'll see it. And I mean, like we said, a lot of people are saying get it digital if you don't want to deal with all the toys, and that's fine. But this is the way to go if you don't mind having some of the toys, or if you're looking to get that R-Wing from Star Fox. This is what you got to do to get it. So, PlayStation VR bundle with camera, 2 Move controllers, and Creed Rise to Glory, and Super Hot VR for $250. You're saving $100. But they did also note in like the subtext that all PSVR bundles will be $100 off. So that means there'll be more different offerings there as well. So it's pretty clear that Sony is not giving up on VR. They've had actually a pretty good last couple months of VR releases. They're not letting this go. So if you've been interested or waiting, this might be what gets you to pull the trigger and make a move here. This is what to pay attention to. And then
it's a fun VR game, by the way.
That's gotten really good reviews. People like that. People like Super Hot too. That's done well too, especially in VR.
2 very good VR games. I have both of them.
Oh, so see, it works. And then the one we all kind of expected, Call of Duty Black Ops 4. It's there. $45, say $15 there. So not a huge sale, but again, remember the game's new. It's selling pretty well. So it's basically what you could have got for like Gamers Club Unlocked or Amazon Prime discount if you were able to snag that before they shut that down.
And hang on, they dropped a new 3DS model. Did you see that?
Oh yes, the Mario Maker
bundle.
Well, 2DS, isn't it?
Yep. You get a yellow and red, a yellow 2DS with red buttons and red accents with Mario Maker for $80.
It's pretty digital Mario Maker just for people who try and say, "Oh, I'll get it, I'll trade in the game." Can't trade in digital. That's what most bundles do now. So now let's get on to what people really like for Black Friday deals. For us gamers, at least that already have these consoles, it's the game sale. So $35 games: Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Forza Horizon 4, Sea of Thieves, Soul Calibur 6, NHL 19, and We Happy Few. I'm surprised We Happy Few isn't cheaper, but that's pretty much what I expected on everything else. And I hope Josh listened to me because I told him before when he was debating on buying Soul Calibur 6, I'm like, dude, just wait for Black Friday. It's going to be half price. And sure enough, boom, here it is. That game is getting good reviews. Coach also, I will note here, Coach Mo, give a shout out to him, loves NHL 19. He's been testing it, playing it for a while. He loves it. So this is a good get, especially I think on Soul Calibur and NHL 19 if you don't already have it. And then I would say Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Sea of Thieves, and Forza Horizon. Just get Game Pass. See if you like them because, you know, everybody has it.
I'm hoping We Happy Few hits Game Pass. That's what I have an eye on it. Like I'm intrigued. I didn't like the beta, but they tried to get away from that early stuff. So I'm intrigued, but I'm not intrigued enough to buy it.
Right, exactly. Same.
I own it.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it's not a $60 game.
Yeah.
It should have been like $20, $30.
Sure. That's exactly where I was. That's in my wheelhouse right there, but I'll wait for it to be a Games with Gold or Plus, or as Donnie said, Games Pass be a good way to try it out. Hitting the $25 games, Assassin's Creed Origins. So last year's Assassin's Creed is on there. God of War, great get, $25. Far Cry 5, great get, $25. Dragon Ball Fighter Z, Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. So if you have a Switch or getting a Switch, pick this one up, $25. And Detroit Become Human, pick it up. And also great. I mean, this list right here, I like this list of $25 games almost better than the list of the $35 games. I think here you can get a lot of great games if you haven't played them already.
2 Game of the Year candidates right there.
There are 3 on there for me.
Nice.
So, yeah, one of them you need to play. I need to send it to you.
Yeah, I've been waiting for you for a month, man.
Yep, I know. I'm bad. $15 games. So we got Overwatch, which we'll talk more about Overwatch later on. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Please don't buy that. Don't support them. PUBG is on there. Also, don't buy that. Don't support that either. Skyrim, Doom, Evil Within 2, Wolfenstein 2, Farming Simulator on Nintendo Switch. Oh, yeah. Lego Jurassic World, NBA Live 19, and Marvel Superheroes 2. all at $15. Great games. You have a good variety here for kids. Pick up Marvel Superheroes 2. I enjoy that game a lot. It's a lot of fun Lego game. Lego Jurassic World I haven't played, but also a lot of people enjoy that. And then for the mature gamers, Wolfenstein 2, I highly recommend that one, as well as Doom. Evil Within 2 I haven't gotten to yet, but I like the first one. Probably
Very
can't go
good
wrong with the
game.
second one. Yeah. And then $30 games lastly to kind of round out here. Shadow of the Tomb Raider. We've seen this already at $30 a lot already, so that's not too big of a doorbuster deal there. WWE 2K19, F1 2018, Fallout 4 Game of the Year Edition, and Naruto to Boruto Shinobi Striker is also $30 there. So a lot of great game deals. Right.
How good is 2K19, man? Because I read some reviews and a lot of people said it was a significant step from the 2K WWE 2K games we've gotten in the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, it's better. It's better. It's a lot better. It's not where it needs to be at yet, but they're making the right steps in the right direction. I like that they brought back
better than last year's.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's better because the showcase mode back, bringing that back alone makes it better.
Cool.
Fair enough. So get your Black Friday on, guys. We're still waiting on seeing what Best Buy has, which I think we'll probably get that in the next week or so. We'll see Best Buy's ad. I did see Kohl's ad came out as well, and Kohl's had like the best deal on the Xbox One S last year. They were doing the 150 bundle with 2 games or whatever it is, but it's 200 this year with Minecraft and like 2,000 Minecraft coins, whatever, I guess the in-game currency for that, for $200, and still the 1S. So they have deals there as well, but I didn't see anything that was worth calling about.
Target's doing $199 for the 1 terabyte S with Minecraft too. So
yeah, so it's probably the same thing. So yeah, nothing really big there from Kohl's, but we'll still see what Best Buy has to offer. Sad note, we won't have a Toys R Us ad to compare though this year.
Not till probably next year.
All right,
This is coming back, so
that's true. I do have to talk a little bit about this next event because there's a big event going on for some people. It may not hit our wheelhouse that big with the 3 of us here, but BlizzCon 2018 is going on right now. They had their opening ceremony. They dropped a ton of news bombs on everybody. So if you're a Blizzard fan, sit back, buckle up. I'm about to drop some knowledge on you. Warcraft 3 getting remastered, which is insane. After last year's StarCraft remaster they're doing it for Warcraft 3, which is, as they call it, Warcraft 3 Reforged. It's a remake of the real-time strategy game. Full overhaul of the game's graphics and systems while preserving the mechanics of Warcraft 3. So they just make it look visually better, but it's still going to play the same way that it did that everybody loved. Doesn't have a concrete release date yet, but they said it'll be sometime 2019. So I would imagine probably summer, fall, maybe even winter release date, because it's in the PC market there, so it doesn't have to worry about the crowded holiday release we get on console gaming. Overwatch, the game that does not die. Another new hero is announced. Possibly getting some Red Dead Redemption 2 inspiration there. We're getting a cowgirl, guys, armed with a pretty snazzy shotgun and her black big cowboy hat there. Ash, who's the basically the lead of a gang, the Deadlock Gang. She's said to be as dangerous as McCree and about twice as mobile. She's got a repeater rifle for taking enemies down in a range, shotgun assist jump, and a bundle of dynamite to help clear out space, and even a murderous robot companion named Bob. Can't go wrong there, but I just can't believe this game is over 2 years old at this point, and they're still releasing new content for free every couple months or so, so it's nuts. There's a new Diablo game coming, besides the one on Switch that dropped today. Diablo Immortal is hitting mobile of all places. A brand new game that takes place between the events that happened in Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. But yeah, it seems to be all the same classes are in Diablo 3, all the same information, play the same way. But they kind of downplayed it a little bit. But this news story is kind of blown up where people are really excited about this coming to mobile. So new Diablo game, Diablo Immortal, hitting your mobile pocket cell phone at some point soon. They did announce a Hearthstone expansion, Trolls based, not Justin Timberlake and that other chick that voiced them. Not that Trolls, guys. Like scary trolls with big teeth, not cool hair and dance moves. But that's coming December 4th, so they won't have to wait that long. So it's kind of like hey, here's the announcement, and it's coming soon. Very much Bethesda style of launch there. And then lastly, this one I thought was interesting. So it's been 14 years that World of Warcraft has been out now. 14 years, guys. And they release expansions every couple years. They're going back and making World of Warcraft Classic, which brings it all the way back to patch 1.12 and will allow players to experience the vanilla game for the first time ever if they haven't done it prior. So like you think of people that maybe jumped on halfway through, or 3 expansions in is when World of Warcraft really blew up. People can go back now and experience the classic game there too. They said summer 2019 would be the release date for that as well. So big announcements there from BlizzCon day one. I think for a lot of people, nothing for me personally, but it's cool to see Blizzard still really, really taking care of the fans. That a lot of we don't see many gaming companies take care of the fans as much as Blizzard does. So it's good to see. I think overall, I don't know if you guys have anything to add to that.
I think the Diablo mobile game is intriguing. That gameplay style. I haven't played the Switch one yet, but that gameplay style seems like it would move to mobile really well. It'd be fun, because it's kind of repetitive. Sit there and tap and whatnot. It seems like a really good fit.
Definitely, and I think we had a couple people in the Discord point out the fact that, hey, if this is a full-fledged thing, we could see this being brought to the Switch as a separate game itself, which not out of the realm of possibility. You never know, man. I mean, I think Diablo 3 is turning a lot of heads. It's getting really positive reviews. The frame rates, like I said, hold up great. So I think we're going to see a lot of that. Some more Blizzard support, I think, coming our way. All right, guys. It's that time once again. Time for me to hate on something. And not Red Dead Redemption 2. We're not talking about that anymore. So it's time for... Yes. Kevin hates everything.
He used to enjoy games like Mario and Zelda. He used to like Bethesda and the New England Patriots. He used to love to visit the Nintendo Shack. But now, Kevin hates everything.
Tonight's subject, Donnie. No, just kidding. So a new rumor came out a couple days ago at this point, where Netlfix Castlevania series has been a pretty big surprise for the streaming service. They've just released season 2 of that. And despite Castlevania being, a dormant series, there's not new Castlevania games coming out. They got a second season of the show and it's doing well. A lot of people that watched season 1 said season 2 is even better. So it's doing good things. Well, that producer may be putting together an even bigger video game TV series, one based on Nintendo's The Legend of Zelda. So there's no details out yet, but he did release a semi-cryptic message over on Instagram. He states, I can confirm that I'm working with an iconic Japanese gaming company to adapt one of their video game series into a TV show. On November 16th at 1 p.m., I'm going to announce what it is. I love you all. Thank you for following me on this journey. Entertaining you guys continues to be a privilege. So, not many details. Actually, no specific details are out there. We don't know if it's going to be an animated or live action, etc. Whatever the case is, we don't know if they're going to take a kid approach and do like a Wind Waker type game, type show, or if they're going to do something dark, live action like they're doing with The Witcher. And they're also doing a Diablo series too, for what it's worth. Here's my gripe. Here's where we go dark, guys. I don't want this. I don't want it. Because number one, Link doesn't talk. I remember the 80s cartoon. It was bad. I remember the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. It was bad. I remember every single video game movie that's come out to history. They're all pretty bad. Why do we think this is going to change? So I have not watched the Castlevania series on Netflix. I will cop to that, so I can't speak for that. If you guys saw the Witcher teaser thing they did with Henry Cavill showing you his first look of him as the Witcher, I think Lucas said it best. They're like, hey guys, sneak early preview. Lucas said, put it back. It's not done yet. That's exactly how I feel. It looks awful. He looks awful. It's bad. It is like 80s adventure movie bad. Like David Bowie in Labyrinth bad. Like that's what he looks like to me. I don't want it. So I have a hard time saying I want a Legend of Zelda series where I love the Legend of Zelda. I cannot speak high enough of it. We all know my history with that. I love my hat right now. Legend of Zelda. I'm with it. I don't want a series because, number one, if you give Link a voice, and I know this is why Coach Mo hates him because he doesn't have a voice, no matter what voice comes out of that mouth, you're going to hate it, gamers. You're not going to like it because in your head, you're like, that's not what Link sounds like. You're not going to be happy with it. Now, if it does need to happen, and if this really is what's coming out, then I hope it's animated. I hope it's something Wind Waker-esque, which probably makes Donnie want to pee his pants right now. because I think that could at least lend itself a little bit better. They have a Skylanders animated series on Netflix right now. And yes, Skylanders talks, so it's not that big of a stretch, but it plays off very well for kids. I think if you do a kid version, it's very well. If they try and give it the Witcher treatment or the Castlevania treatment, animated style, I don't think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be good. So, Delvin, we'll let you go first. Your thoughts on this rumor of a Legend of Zelda Netflix series coming our way.
Link does talk. He says, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Huh?
I think it could be cool. It's probably not going to be cool. Link is such a hard character to put on a show, especially live action.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen this story before, so it's almost to the point where it's like, do we really need to see even a cartoon version of it? Unless you could do something truly compelling with it, I don't see what's the point of doing it. The only way I can see it could work to me in terms of me is if you tell a completely different story. Something that's like kind of like how each year would be a different Link, each season would be a different Link.
Okay.
So you don't really know how the story would end. Like you can even have a season where Link loses. But
that would be a different twist.
Yeah. Otherwise than that, I can't really see how it could do it and it'll be compelling.
It's really true. So one thing while you were talking, I was thinking is maybe one way it could work. And once again, I still don't want this, but if it's from the perspective of somebody not Link, like it takes place in that universe, maybe a soldier of Hyrule, and he just happens to be, around these events, and Link comes crashing, and you see this big epic battle, and you see Link fighting, but he doesn't have to talk because you don't interact with him. I don't know. Like, is it needs to be like the Legends of Zelda where they talk about other history of Hyrule? Like you have a Sheikah tribe, episode or season or something like that. You just follow the mythology and don't actually follow Link. I think is the only way you could possibly do it. But
that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean if it's just in that universe, but it's not the Legend of Zelda, maybe. Donnie, any ideas or what do you think of this?
I hate any idea of doing anything Zelda that doesn't have Link, doesn't focus on Link. Now, if you're gonna do it with Link. No, don't raise your hands. I'm gonna disagree with you.
You don't want to talk though, do you?
But after the Castlevania stuff, like I'm open to it. I like the Castlevania series a lot. The new season's really good. I haven't finished it yet though. Watched too many scary movies this month. But yeah, I mean, I'm for them doing anything as long as it's not live action. I never want to hear Zelda live action like that. That does too much for me. That I don't want to hear. But as long as if it's animated, I have an open mind. I'm okay. Let's see.
If it has to be done. Yeah, I mean, if it's going to be done animated, I think is the way to go.
In today's entertainment world, it's not the 90s. To be fair, we maybe disagree on this quite a bit. To be fair, a lot of things in the 90s aren't that great. Especially you revisit some of those things you love, like entertainment, especially television programming, has come a long way.
Oh, yeah.
Since the
hip hop. That's not hip hop. Hip hop has completely regressed.
I'm with you there.
Yeah, I would agree with you there too. But yeah, so I mean, to go back to what's up, princess, and the Mario thing, that's a little disingenuous. I don't think they're going to do anything close to that. I think they know.
Excuse me, princess.
I think they know that. They're like, all right, let's not do that, and everybody will love us. So.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I think, like you said, live action. They can't. They need not to do it because even after just seeing that small clip of The Witcher, I'm like, nope. I don't want that to happen to Zelda either. Like that. Nope, pass. So I'm good there. All right, fellas, we've been going for over an hour at this point, so let's wrap things up here. Wrap the show up. So before we do our plugs, Delvin, where can people find you and your terrific Delvin Cox Experience, sir?
You can find the Delvin Cox Experience on any podcasting platform you want to go on, and I'm on Twitter at Delvin_Cox and Instagram, which I barely use, but I'm starting to learn it because I'm an old man, at the Delvin Cox Experience on Instagram.
So actually, I wanted to bring up, and I didn't talk to you about this prior to the show. Did you know that there's a parody account for you out that followed me today?
Yes, I know. Okay. I'm well aware of that.
Okay. I'm not going to endorse that because the spelling of the last name is very different.
Yes.
But yeah, so you've hit it big when you get somebody to do a parody of you yourself. So well done, sir.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Donnie, where can people find you and anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah, unplug Nintendo Shack. Got our own separate podcast feed. You can follow all of the Nintendo PSVG shenanigans on Twitter at Shack Life. So all the Jason Caro Nintendo Shack goodies at Shack Life on Twitter.
Shack.
Everybody loves the Shack. To find everything PSVG wise, head over to the website psvg.blog. You can join our Discord right there with everybody else from Make Us Better. Follow us on Twitch if you're not already, twitch.tv/PSVG and at PSVG on Twitter. You want to follow me specifically, PSVG Kevin on Twitter. Patreon.com, as we said before, /Make Us Better if you want to support us. But like we said, we appreciate you just listening. And the last plug I'm going to do, Shaq has his own feed. Board with Video Games now has its own feed. And I'm going to give a big shout out to Josh and Kyle, man, for having a return guest in Colin from Plaid Hat Games, the designer of the newly released Guardians game. Great episode there. Go check that out. And they're doing a little bit of a giveaway that I'm not going to tell you how you can score a free copy of Guardians because I'm trying to win it for myself. So, yeah, go check that out. But more importantly, everybody, before you go listen to Board with Video Games, we want you to never stop gaming.